Ladies and gentlemen, the recent phenomena of Aaron Judge chase to beat Babe Ruth's record and Roger Maris's record for American League home runs is nothing compared to what Roger Maris had to go through in 1961. Now, we all know that Ford Frick, who was a friend of Babe Ruth, was talking about an asterisk where a lot of people didn't want to have an asterisk on the record. They did this with the stolen base record as well for a while. But you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, in 1961, Mickey Mantle was so popular, and because Roger Maris came to the Yankees after time with Cleveland and their farm system in Kansas City, before he was traded in the Dallin Larson trade to the Pinstripes, people really didn't like Roger Maris. Now, when Mantle and Maris were both around the same level in home runs that season, and people found out that maybe Mantle was too injured to break the record, they started turning against Roger. Roger went through a lot. His hair was turning gray. He lost weight. He was tough responses with the media. People were heckling him. He was getting booed in certain parks by the Yankee fans who were at the game, getting negative comments from the the Yankee Stadium faithful. Now, Aaron Judge is a different ball game altogether than Roger Maris, and I'll tell you why. Roger Maris was more like a 40 home run guy who had the magic season, of course, the MVP season in 1960, a good contact hitter. Basically, the comparison I would make were him sort of like a George Foster or a Cecil Fielder with bat speed and the ability to hit that 400-foot home run in 360 feet section of the parks. With Aaron Judge, is completely different. He's a right center hitter. He's a better hitter than a lot of people give him credit for. He has these strikeouts. But I give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. In the quest for 60, nobody said, "Oh, he shouldn't break the record because he's not, he's not like Mickey Mantle. He's not really doesn't talk much with the media. He's not as outgoing. He's not like a person that appeals to those in the sticks." In 1960 and 61, ladies and gentlemen, the Yankees were the biggest game in town. This was before expansion. 61, of course, with the soft expansion. But by the 1970s, you had the Montreal Expos were Canada's team. The 25 million people across the nation, 20 million were Expo fans, and Yankees were the number 2 or number 3 team behind Boston and the Dodgers. When the Blue Jays joined, the American League fan base was kind of splintered because Milwaukee was starting to pick up fans. Chicago was making a comeback. Boston started to grow and grow towards the playoff runs in the 80s and 90s and the World Series and the 2000s. But if everything goes good, he will tie the record of Maris against the Red Sox, break the record against the Yankees, what he will do in the playoffs. But people are not even talking about the triple crown chase. He's leading all 3 categories as of this presentation. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't think he'll win the triple crown. It's very hard to win it for batting average because he's taking much too many walks. He needs more 1 for 3 or 1 for 2 games. But most games he's playing, he's either taking a number of walks, 0 for 2. I think the last couple of games he's only had one base hit. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on the standings. TSN.ca has a rolling breakdown for people that maybe their TV is off because of the hurricane, cable access or internet access. Worst comes to worst, ladies and gentlemen, once the hurricane is passed, at least we'll have good news. It's probably one of the most interesting weeks in baseball history of the modern era. Albert Pujols passing 700 this week, might be able to go as high as 705 by the end of the season. So just like 1978, just like 1986, just like 1974, just like 1969, a lot going on this year. And will the Blue Jays collapse? They're not looking good in recent days. The Rays are their nemesis. Will a certain team in the AL Central squeak in with the last wild card and catch Baltimore? We have yet to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're caught in a hurricane this weekend, things are going to get better. The power will come back on. But, ladies and gentlemen, all I know is this: may you live in interesting times, and definitely with Major League Baseball this week has been quite interesting. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, swing for the fences. Bye.